So, when you talk about the American dream, to me, this is the American dream. Yes. 34 years ago, I came on a boat on the Spanish Navy, and I was docked 200 meters from where we are. And here, 34 years later, here I am with a restaurant, a big restaurant. But putting this aside, only in America, a chef, a cook like me that barely speaks English, gets to have a podcast where you send a text message and an email to a guy that is beloved by many, and he says, sí. Ladies and gentlemen, again, a big round of applause to the only, the one, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Acuérdate de poner esto aquí because we are making a podcast. I love you all. Wepa, I love you all so much, but it's also got to sound good because people are going to listen to it later. So my job is to keep you on task and remind you to use the microphone. Because you know how to work a room like this.
Really?
Yeah, you're the greatest.
On paper, I feel like I'm supposed to be.
That's going to be the best part of the podcast.
In case you think this is some hiccup, I am composing music right now. Yeah, I know I'm not very good. But yeah, I'm supposed to be the big brother, but in this way I almost feel like the little brother. Because he's here, I don't know why still yet, why he's here. And I'm like, you know, like pinching
Because I
myself.
serve at the service of the chef. Thank you, chef.
And I have all these questions and things I'm supposed to start asking him because I am a great guy with a podcast. Yeah, right. But I'm almost getting emotional because this is not only about Lin-Manuel Miranda. This is about everything he is and means for so many people. And you know it. I know you're not here because I cook very well. I know why I'm here, and I know well why you are here. You are here with a guy that has inspired, I will not say millions, I think that's way short, but hundreds of millions around the world with his heart. And I hope through these podcasts, we're gonna get some amazing insights of understanding that this is not only Lin-Manuel Miranda, I the person, but Lin-Manuel Miranda, we the people. With a fascinating family that makes him at the same time that he makes his family. And this is why I love this man. Not what we know about him, but the things we don't know about him. So you know, Lin, I mean, I know every person in the audience, probably many of you can't remember the first time you heard some of his amazing lyrics and songs in his musicals. Do you remember? I know you do, because I know I do. Like my daughter's giving me shits for, Daddy, you don't know Hamilton? You don't know these songs? Like, what the heck? Who was Hamilton in the first place? So, what I want to start is, do you remember the first time we met?
I remember the first time we met. Well, do you want to met online or IRL?
Yeah, but not the private stuff. Use the things that can be public.
Well, we were fans of each other on this now extinct website called Twitter.
X.
And then Hurricane Maria really brought us closer together. We were both kind of in crisis mode from our respective corners of the world. I wrote a song and was trying to raise money, and that way you were already boots on the ground and you were feeding people at an astonishing rate, and we were getting in touch with your cooks, and we were all kind of in crisis mode. But the first time we met in person was in Chicago.
Oh my God. Oh shit, yeah.
It was
Was this like a sexual harassment moment almost?
I'm gonna pause.
Do I have
for a
lawyers
second.
here?
I'm
Can we
gonna
cut this piece,
I'm gonna make
please?
brief, meaningful eye contact with my lawyer, and then I'm gonna come back. What I remember was it was the launching of the Obama Foundation. You were invited. I was invited separately. I was performing, and we saw each other at the bar, and we had talked so much online, like for now years at this point. And you grabbed me in what can only be described as the world's greatest bear hug, and my feet left the floor, and I haven't come down since.
Yeah, that was like a sexual harassment moment.
I never felt unsafe, I just felt loved. And mutual admiration.
So, yes, we're going to talk about the time we've spent together here and there. But
We've been on vacation together. My kids
Oh, yeah.
adore your daughters.
we've done that too. I cannot believe I went with the Miranda family on vacation. Shit.
Yeah.
I love it. So before you were the famous Lin-Manuel Miranda, that's what I want to know. I want to know you growing up
Okay.
as a young boy in a neighborhood, in a way, very far from here, but then
The
not
A
too
train.
far from here. And I guess if we step into your apartment on a Sunday night in the 1980s, but what we will see, what we have seen.
Sunday night in 1980s is Family Ties on NBC. And I really think of the TV as the third co-parent in the family. And then there was a short-lived Julia Louis-Dreyfus sitcom called it wasn't Day by Day, but it was something like that. And she was really funny on it, and I remember that was the beginning of my love of Julia Louis-Dreyfus. But you also, if the TV was not on, you would have heard some variation of Gran Combo on the vinyl, on the record player, or my sister playing Thriller, or my mom playing Dionne Warwick, or the Camelot soundtrack. And me raiding my sister's record and cassette collection for anything from Genesis to Prince to the Fat Boys to, just a lot of music in the house.
Wow. So now we understand. I mean, when I told you at the beginning, this is about the man that is about we the people and his family. I always love that he's always surrounded by his family and friends. Today we have here with us, we have Luz, the mother, and Luis, the father. Yes, a big round of applause.
Hey, and my sister is here too. And my wife is here. She never comes to these
Here we
things.
have his loved one, Vanessa. She's always next to him, but I love when I see Vanessa because this is the person that just with a smile fills the room. And Vanessa is here. And yes, you can give a big round of applause. And the sister, Cettas, is here. And yes, you can give a big round of applause. And Sebastian and Francisco, the two little ones, are not here, but in spirit it's like they are here.
Yeah, but they're very jealous that I'm here with you because they know we're going to be near some good food and they're not going to get any. And with that, I'm going to eat my first piece of jamón ibérico.
So you asked me before we came, I asked you, what do you want to have for dinner tonight? And you said, Iberico ham, jamón ibérico. There you had the biggest plate I've seen of Iberico ham. So, what I want to know, and probably we could bring your mom and dad, Luis and Luz here, which for me, they are like my brothers and sisters in more ways than one, as you know. But what was the food in your household? Who did the cooking? What your family's meals were like?
Yeah.
Were you eating true Puerto Rican food, or you were eating fast food, or you were eating, I don't know, Harlem food, or upper Manhattan food? What were you eating? Who was cooking?
Okay.
How you became who you became through the food you ate? Now I give you time to think about it and respond.
I can respond to all those questions in the order you asked, in inglés o en español.
Do you want Spanish or you want English? Sorry guys, this is called a Spanish diner.
We're going to be in
Spanglish.
In Spanglish. Here's the thing. I was a vegetarian for the first 13 years of my life.
Can you repeat it again?
He said, "Ay, na jamón ibérico."
Can you repeat it again?
Yo era vegetariano hasta que tenía 13 años. And it was not I just didn't like it. It was like this physical aversion. It looked slimy, it looked gross. And that cuts out most Puerto Rican food if you're a vegetarian. But I remember we made a lot of Puerto Rican food. So it was basically arroz con gandules para mí, arroz y habichuela, arroz con huevo. It was to get protein into me. I would eat eggs, so they'd fry an egg on rice and ketchup. That was a staple. I remember Mundi, who was really the other person who lived in our home, who was my babysitter and surrogate grandmother growing up. We would make pastel vegetariano, which is just masa. It's just, I don't know if you know what pasteles are, but you can't make less than 50, apparently. It's just too labor intensive to make less than 100 pasteles. And your family makes an impromptu assembly line. My job was to take the leaves and put them over the plate to ablandarlo, to make them softer so they could wrap around the masa, and then you tie it all up and you put it in the water. Because I was the vegetarian, my job was just the leaves. And I would eat pastel vegetariano with ketchup. And then puberty hit.
Hold on, with ketchup?
Now listen, if you want to start a Puerto Rican civil war, we can talk about ketchup or without ketchup.
Okay, everything is happening here is off the record.
We have microphones. It's a podcast. It's a lie. But no, there are Puerto Ricans, I am among them, who pastel with ketchup is like the greatest. I know I'm not alone. Someone make some noise. Okay, I know. We are few, but we are passionate. Right now, people are listening to this being like, oh, sacrilege. Throwing off their headphones in disgust. But yeah, patele, and it was really, it's interesting. I don't know what the link is between like Latino masculinity and meat, but it's stronger than almost anything.
Because the barbecues we make on weekends or what?
I don't know. But my grandfather was worried about me until I started eating meat. He was just like, yo no sé qué está pasando con este nene. No come carne, no confío en él.
Okay, what he's trying to say is, I don't know what's going on with this nene. I don't know what's going on, but I'm worried.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to say in Spanish.
Yeah, and then I hit puberty and some switch flipped inside of me and I was like, I'd like to try bacon. This is great. I'd like to try. So I remember my first steak. It was at the Ponderosa Steakhouse in Puerto Rico. Because my grandfather was like, por fin!
Hold on, how old were you when that happened?
I was 13 years old. Again, I came to it all late, so I remember my first carne guisado, I remember my first bacalao. I was a teenager. Because everything meat-related was gross until I hit puberty. I can't explain it. It's just you wanted the truth. It was rice and eggs and rice and beans until I was 13 years old. I'm rocking his world and I'm eating more ham.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with arroz con gandules and a fried egg.
The best.
I can live my life eating these things.
Mundi was the chef in our house growing up. And then as she got older, my dad became the chef. My mom would make like a wicked tomato sauce once a year and our entire freezer was full of it. Because again, like pastele, you can't just make one thing of tomato sauce. You have to make it for the year. And so we would have just these cubes of frozen Tupperware tomato sauce filling the freezer because it was really good. And I remember I would leave the house that annual day because the onion chopping was so strong. I couldn't hang, and I would have to leave, go play outside until she was done making tomato sauce. But yeah, those are my big food memories. We never really went out to eat. Everyone ate by themselves, because my parents worked a lot. So yo comía al frente de televisión. I ate in front of the TV. The moment I got home, my sister ate when she got home, and yeah.
I do love that you remember the first time you ate a piece of meat.
Yeah.
But then,
My first burger was like a Burger King Burger Buddy.
Oh my God.
Does anyone remember Burger Buddies? It was a brief promotion in the 1990s where Burger King had like conjoined patties and buns. It was, I guess they were chasing White Castle. I don't know what was happening, but that was my first burger, and I liked that, so I knew that I was in.
I remember first time my dad took me to a McDonald's, and almost my mother divorced my dad because she couldn't believe that my dad spent so much money in a burger in a fast food place.
Well,
yeah,
that was my first job.
No.
McDonald's on 91st and Columbus. It is now an urgent care clinic.
Oh, hold on. And what was your role? What position you got?
I worked the cash register. This was the rare McDonald's that did delivery. And that's huge because when you're making $4.25 an hour, you can get tips. And that's like just a little beyond the minimum wage I was making. And you know, you would think that would like turn me off to McDonald's forever, but no. I appreciated my staff-mandated free child-sized drink and cheeseburger that you got for free if you worked at McDonald's. And then the other thing I did, they had uno de esos tubitos. They had like a McDonald's Playland on the second floor, which it consisted of one tube. Because it's the Upper West Side, there wasn't a lot of space. It's not like your fancy suburban McPlaylands. This is one tube that goes up and down. And they had a family night where they had a deal on Happy Meals, and I was in charge of painting kids' faces and reading stories, which to some of the parents in the neighborhood was like, hey, free babysitting at McDonald's from 5 to 7:30.
Okay.
So people would drop their kids with me, and I would, at McDonald's! And I would read stories, and when it comes to my talent at reading stories and face painting, the talent was very much on the reading stories. And you've never known disappointment like a child's disappointment when they think, I want to be a Power Ranger. And I go, I don't know how to do a Power Ranger. I can paint a Power Ranger on your face. And they leave with a green stick figure on their cheek. Thank you. So I was the mayor of McPlayland on the Upper West Side for a couple years.
I see a new play in the making. Did you ever sing to them?
No, not for $4.25 an hour.
So I think all of us here in Longer Tables, that's what we want to know next. You were very clear on almost the first time you ate a piece of meat. Can you tell us the first moment that you saw the force of music was strong in you?
Well, Obi-Wan. The force was always strong with me. Again, I had parents who played music all the time. There was not a time when I don't have music associated with the memories of my childhood. And I remember seeing my first show, which was a big deal. Like, just like then as now, Broadway is just way too expensive and hard for folks to access. And when I was 7, my parents took me to see Les Miserables. And I remember crying when Fantine died, and then I took a nap. No, I remember Lovely Ladies. I remember that comedy song about prostitution in the middle of Les Mis. I remember taking a nap. I remember waking back up sometime in the second act, and I remember Javert's final moment, and I remember Bring Him Home, and I remember my mom brought home the cast album to Les Miserables, and she would play Bring Him Home, and she would cry every time she played it. And that's really my biggest memory, was not so much the show, although the show was great, was how much that music moved her, and how I wanted to move people like that.
So, how old you were when you think you wrote your first song?
Oh, I was younger than that. The first song I have recorded on my Fisher-Price tape recorder, on the back of a cassette that had an audiobook of Green Eggs and Ham. Because they used to say, like, record your own adventure on the other side. This was like an 80s thing where it was like, you can record over the thing we sold you.
Green Eggs and Ham?
Well, no, Green Eggs and Ham was the cassette I recorded over. And the song I wrote was called The Garbage Pail Kids Are in Town. The Garbage Pail Kids were a trading card parody of the Cabbage Patch Kids, which were a big fad in the 80s. My sister, they were basically dolls with incredibly white-sounding names. I had a Cabbage Patch named Reuben Thurston. But the Garbage Pail Kids were gross, and they had boogers, or they had, vomit coming out of them. And so I wrote a song called The Garbage Pail Kids Are in Town, and it's basically one long improvisado. It's just me singing into the tape recorder going, oh, the Garbage Pail Kids are in town. Oh, they're so ugly, you wouldn't want to see them. Even if you make your own. If you make your own, you have to make them funny or ugly. And then I go on to this whole tangent where I say, I got an airplane, but it doesn't have a propeller. But that doesn't have anything to do with Garbage Pail Kids. That's my first song. Garbage Pail Kids.
Come on! I mean, this is not the moment for this, but I play a Latino spy on Green Eggs and Ham that you can find on Netflix.
Okay, I don't think we're allowed to be promoting struck work, but that is amazing. And I will be looking it up as soon as I get home.
And what is the name of the spy I play? Anyway, I think I'm the only guy that I've been ever in a cartoon with a translator. Okay, this is a joke. But yeah, I play a spy, a Latino spy in Green Eggs and Ham. I understand the connection in a very strange way. So, let's keep going. Let me see if all the amazing...
I love watching José Andrés try to stick to a script. It's amazing.
So, you use Sunday's live here in a Spanish diner, a song that is part of who you are, of what you've become in more ways than one. So, can you walk us through the creation of one of your songs? How do you begin? It starts with a single line, an idea, a feeling. Do you go somewhere special to write? How it happens?
I do my best not to be superstitious or precious about it. If you're a songwriter, you're a playwright. If you're a songwriter, you're an actor. Your job is to find the truth of the character you are writing for. That's true whether you're writing a pop song or whether you're writing a song for a piece of theater. I think one of the most genius lyrics in pop music in the past 10 years was, to the left, everything you own in a box to the left. Again, it's like a phrase you think you know the meaning, and then the next sentence undoes it completely. It's a genius little piece of writing. And every line in that feels like a real thing a real person would say while their ex-boyfriend is leaving. In the closet, that's my stuff. It's real. And that's how I think of it, is I'm an actor. My job is to put myself in the character, into the shoes of the character, where they are in that moment. I have a sense of where they're gonna be at the end of the song, and I have to figure out the most honest way to get from A to B. And it can be anything from, if I am USNAVI and I am welcoming you to the neighborhood of Washington Heights, my job is to welcome you to the neighborhood. So I'll speak in Spanish, but I'll also speak in English. I will introduce you to everyone who's important to this neighborhood as briefly and as powerfully as I can. And then, in the case of that song, In the Heights, we see other characters that knock the narrator sideways and go, yeah, but have you talked to Vanessa yet? No, I'm going to talk to Vanessa. Okay, you haven't done anything. And then he has to tell you a little of the truth about himself, which is far harder than telling you about this great neighborhood that he has lived in all his life. So that is, that's one example of a song, but the job really is, for every moment, find the truth and find the music that goes with it, and find, when I got the fun of it, is if you're writing a show, you get to play everybody. So I loved being Angelica Schuyler in Hamilton, because she's the smartest character in the play. And writing Satisfied was one of the headiest moments, because it took me a while to get there, because the circumstance I'd created was it's a wedding toast. And I was like, well, how do you tell? No one tells the truth in a wedding toast, or if you do, it's not going to be a very good toast, because you know too much about the subject. And you've seen when people are too honest at a wedding toast. Everyone is talking about it the rest of the party. Why did she say that? Oh my God. So I thought, okay, there's going to be a flashback inside the wedding toast. And the fun of it was really figuring out how this incredibly intelligent, charismatic woman reads a situation and instantaneously makes a decision that impacts the rest of her life and realizes it even in the moment she's doing it. Most of us do not have that level of self-awareness. We realize 10 minutes later, I should not have said that back there. Or I should not have introduced that person to that person, maybe years later. But she is this heightened awareness, and I had to dramatize that. And so it's really fun. But when it comes to music versus lyrics, if the music comes first, that's what comes first. On that song, Unsatisfied, I was trying to write this moment, and nothing I was playing on the piano felt like the moment. And then I found myself playing a song I had written for my friend K.O., Karen Olivo, years back for an album they'd never released. And so I texted Olivo and said, I have an emergency, I have this moment, and this song that we never released is the perfect moment for it. This music, can I steal it back? And K.O. said, yeah, man, it's your song. So I took back the chord progression, and then as soon as I had that chord progression in my fingers, it wrote really fast, because that song was also kind of an unrequited love on a wedding day moment. And I just went back to that music with all of this information I had about Angelica and her sister and Alexander, and it's really structured like an essay. It's structured like your 8th grade personal literary essay that you learned about in English class. I have 3 things that I have to tell you. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Thesis, proofs, conclusion. But it was, you go wherever you need to go to write the tunes.
Who've seen In the Heights? Who's seen it more than twice? You're crazy people. Who've seen Hamilton? Who's seen it more than twice? Who's seen it in Puerto Rico? USNAVI.
Dígame.
For the American language people that don't speak Spanish, USNAVI, U.S. Navy. I know it's obvious, but not for everybody. And that's what I love of what Lin-Manuel has done on trying to be, all of us, we the people, aware of things are happening already around us. And sometimes we don't even realize. I didn't even realize it. I was like, oh, USNAVI is a great name, until my wife had to tell me, no, it's U.S. Navy, and somebody, I'm like, shit, this is so clever.
But it's also the whole, first of all, that's a real thing people name their kids. I've met many USNAVIs, and USNAVIs, the feminine with the S on the end. But it's also what the whole show is about, because it's about us. We come here, we are able to make a life here, and we remix what we find and make our own version of an American life.
And I love what you said when you've been giving us this amazing master class. And you began with, to the left, to the left, to the right, to the right. I'm not trying to sing. My daughters are in the audience, and I don't want to embarrass them. My daughters make sure, Jose, Daddy, don't try to sing a song to Lin.
Before this night is done, that will happen.
But I only want to share this quick with you because I think all of us probably we are singers in the shower. But as an immigrant, with some people will say, it's kind of funny when they tell me I have an accent, because it's like the people, you don't hear it, right?
I don't hear it.
The people that tell me I have an accent, it's the same shit I'm thinking about them. It's like, I mean, you know, a guy from Iowa tells me I have an accent. I'm like, what the fuck, you have an accent too, man?
Yeah, it's accents all the way down.
And you know the song that make me feel comfortable? And that's why music sometimes and songs are so powerful. I'm a guy that nobody will say I'm shy. Even I was shy to try to speak to who became my wife because I was in love with her before she even knew who I was. So I will, she's here, Patricia around. Still with me 30 years old. But I've been shy, right? But what's this song, right? You say tomato, I say tomato. You say potato, I say potato. That fucking song. That you say tomato, I say tomato. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But as a young immigrant in America, where everybody almost was making fun of my English, even good friends of mine who are like brothers, one of the best chefs in the world, Eric Rippert, who is here with us tonight. Yes, you can clap. And I'm gonna believe like a guy like Eric like has a thicker French accent that I have a thick Spanish accent. Makes fun of my English and I make fun of him. But I was only trying to go that in the way you described your connection with that song, in the way you use creativity, music in a way for everybody is a way. For me, it was a way to say, you know what? Anybody tells me that my accent sucks and my pronunciation is not the right one, I will sing, I say tomato. So,
but listen, isn't it the same in the kitchen though? Like when you're making something, you have an innate sense of what you want to feel when you eat it, what you're in the mood for. It's no different from what I'm doing at the piano, what you're doing in the kitchen. You know which ingredients at which temperatures are going to make me feel the thing you want me to feel.
Ingredients and notes. Ingredients are like notes.
Yeah, well, you tell me.
And then when you put ingredients together, it becomes like music?
Yes. Well, it's an experience, right? An experience that you can make that no one else here can make. And you want us to feel something, right? You want us to feel full. You want us to feel satisfied. But you also, you know, it's your love language. It's how you communicate to the world.
Yeah. Totally.
I'm like when you come up with a recipe, you got a new restaurant that just opened. Like, what do you say? Why is this restaurant different? What are the songs that go into that restaurant?
I always say that restaurants are not really businesses. Restaurants are stories. Stories of a life experience that then we put together through the dishes. Dishes that they are not names, is names of people behind the dishes. Like my mother, croquetas. Croquetas is, I cannot believe now I'm charging people for croquetas. Because my mom will make croquetas out of nothing. When at the end of the month, Lin, was no more money left in the bank. My mom was a nurse, my father, middle class, good. But the fridge in my home will be empty. So my mom will get the half egg that was there dry. The egg, you will open the fridge and the egg will tell you, please, save me. The little piece of ham that was so dry that could stand up on its own. The ham will say, what I've done to deserve this. I used to be nice and pink and soft and shiny, and I'm dry and I'm beautiful. Do something, please. And my mom will listen to the egg and to the ham. And she will chop them up, and they will be happy. The egg will be, just exclaiming happiness all in every edge. The ham, oh my God, I'm finally meeting the egg. And my mom will make the bechamel, the egg and the flour and the milk, and then she will add the egg and the ham, and will be ecstasy. And then she'll roll that bechamel into croquetas that she will do with the bread that she will grind in the coffee grinder to make sure that nothing will be wasted. And then she will fry them in the oil, and you could hear the croquetas. Oh my God, happiness, this is so amazing. And then my mom will give us the croquetas. And the love, the time. My mom, a working nurse, but then a working mom. And those croquetas is what my brothers and we will request every night if we could. So, if I wanted to write a song about the croquetas, not only of my mom, but about the croquetas of everybody.
I think you just did, Chef.
Yeah, but
I think all that needs is a backbeat.
But with the information I gave you, can you give us a seminar? How do you get those things? And boom. Yeah, I'm putting you in the spot.
I would start with, I would probably make the ham and the egg separate characters, and they would sing, jamón solito en la nevera, nadie me usa, no vale pa nada. And then, y yo el huevito. I would have a duet between the two of them. Make use of us.
What happened with the breadcrumbs?
You tell me, it's your story, man.
Okay, the breadcrumbs, my mom would use the coffee grinder because we didn't have anything else to make them. But then
the coffee grinder is what brings in the beat.
Okay, and then this is what will happen. At the moment, they will forget to clean the coffee grinder from the breadcrumbs. And then my father will make coffee. And then what happened with the coffee? The fucking coffee will be thick because the breadcrumbs made the coffee thick. You didn't know you were eating chocolate or coffee. But my father will scream, but at the end he will drink it.
Pan con café, but you did it backwards.
Pan con café. Shit, this is the way.
No, that song is called Pan con café. That's a different song. That's a different song. The bread and the coffee.
So that's the next one.
Listen, we're going to have an album before this podcast. Pan con café, pero el pan está
in the wrong place.
In the wrong place.
But it's not in the wrong place because he thinks he belongs. So why are they telling me I don't belong when actually I do belong? Do we belong where people tell us we belong, or we belong where we feel we belong? We the people, we all belong. Okay. Shit.
Lo escribiste, you wrote it.
Man, you're a good teacher.
Thanks.
You are the Jedi. You
You heard it here first. You heard the seeds of the album here.
Sure. Okay, let me read. I don't know my next question. So listen, we've seen what's going on right now with all the strike of the Hollywood actors, and obviously in solidarity with all of them and all the SAG, the SAG, the AFTRA organization. We won't talk about any of your TV and film work. And by the way, I think it's the moment that we give a big round of applause to all the actors, all the strikes that is going on SAG and AFTRA. So, but yes, we can talk about your work on Hamilton. Yes. Can you clap again? Because he says... No, but the people in the back are not clapping. It says here, when I say, we can talk about your work for the stage, Hamilton, and then says, applause. Oh, shit, play you. Yeah.
The guys in the back didn't get your script.
Yeah, I was terrible on that shit. In the Heights! Okay, it says applause. I mean, we didn't pass you this shit? All right. So okay. One of my favorite songs is Yorktown. Yeah.
I'm just waving to the people who are saying hi to us.
No,
on the
but I
streets.
thought you were blinking at me. I was like, so there is the forever famous line about immigrants.
We get the job done.
Centuries from today, that phrase, that moment will be repeated to many more ahead of us. That's the influence that this man has had. So that line, can you tell us about the inspiration of that line? Because me as an immigrant, but many other people that are not even immigrants, even I feel we are all immigrants in a way. Man, when I saw that, it's like, shit, yeah, this is my flag, yeah, immigrants, we get the job done. So how that happens, and did you expect that fascinating few words together will become so inspirational for so many?
Nope. Again, the same way you write any other lyric in any other song, you look for the truth in the moment. I was at a moment, I'm writing a song called The Battle of Yorktown. I know I have a lot to get done, in addition to telling you where everyone is in the battle at all times, who's there, who is not, who wins, how do you musicalize a battle. I had this moment just before it starts. Lafayette had risen in the ranks to become one of the most important officers in the Revolutionary War. He came from France. He left his life in France to come here because he wanted to be a part of something. And Hamilton, similar deal. And so I had this moment where these two characters who have never been alone on stage are alone on stage for the first time. And they're both leading the charge on behalf of a country that is not quite theirs yet. And that was the truest thing I could have had them say, like, look at us. You know, one from Nevis, St. Croix, one from France, and it's just a little moment of something that has always been true, which is that people come here from all over the world and make our country better. And know that the deal is do the job that no one else wants to do to make a better life for their kids. That's a promise that we export as a country to people all over the world. And then we act surprised when they come here. But that is the promise that we export to people all over the world. And it is coming true for these two characters in these moments. So I gave them a little high five. And in Immigrants, We Get the Job Done. I didn't realize until we got it in front of an audience what a moment it would be. Because it just seemed like a true thing they would say to each other. And then we had to add music afterwards because the applause was so loud. So there's that like extra beat. Immigrants, we get the job done. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go back into the song. And that's because of you. That's because you guys responded to it. Resonated with audiences in a very real way. And I've seen it resonate all over the world. I've seen it resonate in London where, you know, anti-immigration rhetoric was to the point of Brexit. I've seen it resonate in Germany. I've seen it resonate in Australia. And so there's something that just feels like we really sort of touched a third rail there that really speaks to folks.
Well, yeah, more ham.
More ham.
On the house. So for some of you will know, I got the amazing opportunity to have a TV show in Spain, and national Spanish TV. And all of a sudden I go from, you know, the same guy I am today, but one more guy, to going in the streets and everybody turning at you because you are in national Spanish TV in prime time. And one day I have this family of father and mother and 5, 6 amazing daughters and children. And they are like looking at me, and I think they want to take a photo with me, because now everybody's asking for a photo. It's my early days in Spanish TV, but the show is powerful because you are in the face of everybody. And so I go to the father because I think the father is shy to ask me for a photo, and I take the camera away from him, and I'm trying to go to do like a selfie. And then the father tells me, oh, you're very nice, but why are you on the photo? They didn't watch my show. That's why I'm always very shy now to be too ahead, and was a good wake-up call. That is great. Do you remember the first time that you went from the Lin-Manuel Miranda, the boy, the son, the husband, the everyday guy, to one day that all of a sudden you are like, everybody's just turning to look at you?
Yeah, well, it reminded me of one of my all-time favorite New York moments. This is probably 2015, 2016. It's right when Hamilton Mania is getting very crazy and it's getting hard to get in and out of the building. And we were at a restaurant, and I think I was outside trying to hail a cab. And a lady, I had to stand up to demonstrate this story. A lady walks by me, she's on her phone. No, you stay right there. Okay. You're me in the story. You're standing and you're waiting for, you're there and you're waiting for a cab. And a lady on the phone walks by me and she goes, "Say, you're famous." At that moment, a guy walking in the other direction without stopping hears her and goes, "No, you're not." And that's why I'll never leave New York. Neither of them even broke stride. And that's why I'll never leave New York, and that's why I still live in my hometown neighborhood, because even when things were getting crazy, New York humbles you quick. Keeps you humble. And I still live in my neighborhood. I still live in Washington Heights.
Do your children tell you your song is bad?
Do my children tell me my song is bad?
When you are playing the piano, you're singing? Because my daughters, when I was growing up, they did two things to me. Daddy, don't speak English to us when you bring us to school.
Wow, brutal.
And two, Daddy, I didn't like your food today. Which is, it's kind of a little bit humbling.
A little bit.
Yeah. Did it happen to you?
Well, here's what's interesting. My oldest, Sebastian, who is going to go into this line of work, I just know it, he's very supportive when I'm writing. He really already knows if Daddy's writing, like, you love it. So he'll be like, it's great, Daddy! That sounds great. You should put this in. And my kids are all over my demos now because they just won't leave me alone. So they come in and they sing. I said, I'll put them into having singing or doing syncopation, and they're all in the demos. And they're really nice about that. But I learned that singing in public was a great way to make things happen for my kids. So if Sebastian is taking too long to get to the bus, I'm like, Sebastian, shut up, 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 shut up. I think he was about 4 years old the first time he said, "Daddy, you don't have to sing everything. Some things you can just say to me." But if I need him to like move faster, I'll just start feeling a song coming on. But I also, like you, I am not the most popular composer in my house. That's probably Max Martin, composer of & Juliet, which my kids love, and they love the movie version of Matilda the musical, and they love Little Shop of Horrors, they love Into the Woods. I'm like maybe the 7th most popular composer in my house. They're done with Hamilton.
So some of you know that at the beginning of the pandemic, when every single person was trying to do something used to connect with people that were far away, one of the things we did in my household was the only thing we know, which is let's cook and let's start sharing those cooking moments with everybody. And because my daughters were always on the rise because they were studying or this or that, and they were busy, but will be this moment that we will gather around the kitchen. And we had some ingredients and one very big pot. And we made the challenge of let's cook something in real time, quick and fast, so we can sit and enjoy dinner at the rhythm of a song. And the first 6, 7, 8 songs were Hamilton songs.
Yes. I remember your You'll Be Back recipe.
And this for me was a moment I will never forget because we had fascinating moments. And sometimes I will try to put my own words on the Hamilton songs until my daughter said, Daddy, stop it. But cooking kind of brought us all of us together. I think many of us, we cooked through the pandemic and brought all of us together. But
first of all, your daughters are amazing, and the interplay with you and your daughters was the best part of the. I mean, it was.
And we have a show on CNN, people.
Yeah.
Sundays, José Andrés and family in Spain, which my daughters complain, who is the family? Is your family? Is another family we don't know? Yeah. So if you have 3 daughters, that's what you're gonna get, and they're right. So, are you an amazing cook? Do you cook for your family all the time? Is your wife? Is your mom? Is your dad? Are you the cook we all imagine you are? Are you the Paul Bocuse, the Eric Ripert of cooks? How are your cooking talents?
I make a mean pizza bagel. I use different cheeses. I add a little barbecue sauce to the tomato sauce. No, I cook just well enough to feed my kids. I've got kids staple level. I can make pancakes, I can make chicken, I can make eggs, I can make bacon. Right now the gas line in our building isn't working, so I go to another person's house and I make bacon for the week.
Yeah, but technically the bacon is already made.
Yeah, but you want that oven bacon?
So you are adding a bacon, Lin-Manuel Miranda touch to the bacon that is already made?
Just baking bacon.
Do you know the worst thing happens to me, Lynn? Like, I have friends come to my restaurants, and sometimes many friends that come to my restaurants, and they tell me or they send me WhatsApp or messages or Twitters or DMs or whatever, and they tell me, oh, I love the meal in your restaurant. The manchego cheese, the wine, and the Iberico ham was great.
And those, yeah, you weren't responsible for any of that. I mean, you bought it and you served it.
And I don't know if I read in between the lines. Like, I am a good shopper, but...
Yeah. That's like when someone sees my show and go, I love the set.
Like...
Or did you leave humming the set?
It's like buying diapers. I mean, my wife tells me, buy this diaper. I go and buy the diapers and and the tampons or whatever else. But anyway, yeah, so that happens to me. And I take it as a
My wife is an amazing chef. And you can clap. You haven't tasted it. You don't know. But she's an amazing chef. And
what's the dish?
What's the dish?
What's the dish that...
I'll tell you a story.
I know my wife married me because my cooking, not because my looks. Even I think I have great looks.
I will tell you the story. The story was one day we had just started dating, and I actually have video of this moment. And I woke up, and Vanessa was making French toast, and it smelled so good. And I lived with 2 other boys, and it smelled so bad all the time in our house. And here was this beautiful woman making French toast, and I think we'd only been dating like a month. And I literally went, I love you. Like, it kind of just slipped out. But yeah,
French toast.
French toast. She also makes...
And Lafayette.
Yes.
Is the French connection.
She's been making this amazing mushroom ragu that is tremendous. She gets these amazing chanterelle mushroom. What are the name of the mushrooms?
Chanterelles.
No, they're not chanterelles. That's why I...
Cremini,
stopped.
shiitakes.
Lion's mane mushroom.
Oh my God.
And she makes a mushroom tomato ragu that
So you're going back to your vegetarian times. Vegetable times.
I guess so, but there's meat in there too, right? Oh,
nope.
Yeah. No.
She
it's
said
really
no.
good.
Wow.
Yeah. And my dad does not go anywhere. That's the one food he won't eat because he associates mushrooms with what grows up around the cow patties in Puerto Rico. So for him, mushroom y caca son la misma cosa.
Right,
so he just won't eat them. He can't separate one from the other.
All right. So my wife married me because my cooking, and you married your wife because her cooking.
Yes. Well, no, I married my wife for many reasons, but the cooking is what got the I love you out very quickly.
Did you marry me for more reasons than my cooking? Okay. Yeah, she said. I mean,
It's a podcast. He's nodding his head in every direction, listeners at home.
yeah. I know we're gonna go, but we need to finish. They're kicking us out of my own restaurant. It's like when you invite people to eat in my home for free, and they say no. And you say, shit, how I'm gonna fill up my restaurants when they don't even want to come to my own restaurant? Oof, restaurant business are becoming difficult. All right, so listen, guys. We can love Lin-Manuel for many reasons. Because you like his music, because you like his songs, his creativity, his smile, his smarts, his wit, whatever. But I can tell you what I love Lin-Manuel Miranda, and more especially all his family. Because not everybody has to show up when things happen. But when Maria hit Puerto Rico, even if they are from Puerto Rico, even if they are Puerto Rico, the DNA is Puerto Rico. Their blood, when Maria hit, some of you will know I went there because with this organization, World Central Kitchen, and we were able to partner with amazing Puerto Rican chefs that in the most difficult moment of Puerto Rico came together and fed Puerto Rico. We didn't feed everybody, but we fed hope. And there I was connecting with Luis and Lynn and people like Emilio Estefan and Gloria Estefan. And they sent a message. We're coming. We're coming in a moment that the airport was not even closed. And there they show up. All the family is strong. And they did many things for the island, not only on the day they landed, but beyond, to this day. If I love him, no, it's not because he's the famous guy that did In the Heights and Hamilton. But if I love him, it's because he rallied him and his father and his mother and his family and every single person he could bring along with him to send a message of we are here, we're with you, we're not gonna leave you alone. Ladies and gentlemen, Lin and all his family show up in Puerto Rico to help Puerto Rico in the moment that Puerto Rico needed hope more than ever. That's why I love Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Thank you, Chef. And Chef, thank you. And that's why we love you, Chef, because we know if anyone is hurting or hungry in the world, you're going to be there. And that's why we love you. And you continue to lead in that way.
And before they shut me down in my own podcast, I love you, Jane. You know it. And in my restaurant. So you've always used your platform not only for your own good, but you create this platform to do good beyond who you are. And tonight, guys, thank you for being here, because especially we're here to support the Hispanic Federation. And as you know, of many things Hispanic Federation does, here used to support migrants in New York City, about the many other things that happens nationwide that Hispanic Federation does. So I want to really give a big round of applause to Coca-Cola that has made a day like today special and possible. And use the question I want to ask you, with all the things going on in the world, how do you choose or why you align with the causes you want to support? I know what you've done in Puerto Rico and supporting the arts, but give us some wisdom of why you do what you do.
It's very hard, particularly right now. I mean, it's just, I find that you could doom scroll all day. We could all doom scroll all day, and sometimes we do doom scroll all day. But you also, there's a way to flip that, where you go, okay, well, there is literally no shortage of ways to do good in this world. There's no shortage of ways to put your shoulder into something, raise your voice for something, raise money for something, volunteer somewhere. There's so much need in the world, and you want to put your shoulder in where you feel like you can be most helpful wherever you are in the world. That's why we are so inspired by you, Chef, because you go and you put boots on the ground, and you put chefs to work, and you put food in people's mouths, and it's so inspiring. But really, I mean, your only barometer, I find the artistic impulse and the selfless impulse are the same. It's the thing that won't leave you alone. What is that thing in the world that you still think about in the shower, you still think about that keeps you up at night? That's what you have to put your shoulder into, and that's sort of the guiding principle for us.
Are we going to see Hamilton again in Puerto Rico anytime soon?
I mean, that company was incredible. We just had a company, one of our tours that had been going around the world, around the country for 3 years, closed, and we raised a lot of money in Puerto Rico. I'm just home writing the next show. So I'm trying to have more than Hamilton playing.
But I'm telling you, if ever you hear that Hamilton, again, one day is playing in Puerto Rico, if I was you, I will be booking that ticket and trying to get that ticket.
It really hits
tomorrow.
different. It really is incredible there, and it's it was one of the joys of my life to be able to. It's the joy of my life to bring my work to Puerto Rico because it means so much to me, to my family over there, and to share it with my folks.
So can you give me the phone of whoever is the casting officer, so I can audit for whatever next play you are?
We need a spy for Green Eggs and Ham. No.
I take this like a hire. Lin, you know we love you, but before we close down, we got some questions. Can we make one or two more questions from the audience?
Sure.
Are they in English or in Spanish? Got a question? Write it down here. No,
He's
I'm
reading the
practicing my
stage
English.
directions.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I need this shit.
¿Qué es eso? Listeners at home, José Andrés is drinking from a goblet from about 5 feet up in the air.
Yeah, but this is not Harry Potter. This is a porrón.
Dame.
But careful because the hole is very thick. I don't want you to lose your voice and your local chords. You have to go up, 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 up. Oh my God. So,
The listener has no idea what just happened.
so we have two questions. And yes, in case you doubt me, I can read English 30 years later. Yeah, that was a joke. Oh shit.
Dámelo.
I'm sorry, but can we hear you freestyle referencing at least 5 items at the Spanish diner menu board? Oh my God. Okay, this was not trick. I didn't make you do this. Who is this person? Kick them out. That was you.
But I need a beat. So are you going to give me a beat, Chef José Andrés?
Oh shit. What beat you want?
Well, Chef Repair's wife just started beatboxing in the front row.
Sandra Rippert is in the house. People, the wife of Eric Rippert.
Chef, if you give me a beat, I will...
Anna Navarro is in the house. What? Yeah, sorry, Navarro. Okay, what do you want? Salsa merengue. You want flamenco or reggaeton?
No, this is fine. This clap is good. ok. Esto es un género genérico. Vamos a comer jamón ibérico. Mañana pasada, empanadas, lenteja guisada. Oh yeah, it doesn't mean nada, because I'm having my flan con my nata. Oh yeah, I may be drinking Bellinis, but maybe I'm drinking bikinis. Oh yeah, eating rato. That was only 3.
Okay, and then to end, what's a family food tradition of yours that you would like to pass on to your kids? You mentioned few, but what's the family tradition you will pass on to your kids?
What's this family tradition we pass on to the kids? Huh? Oh yeah, Kaiserschmarrn.
Okay.
My mother-in-law is Austrian, and so we get this Austrian breakfast that's basically it's like crushed pancake, French toast, covered in powdered sugar with jelly. So yeah, we're talking about Latin food all night, and I'm gonna hit you with Kaiserschmarrn at the end. But yeah, Kaiserschmarrn is delicious.
Wow. So, people of America, people of New York, thank you for being here with us. Thank you to the entire Miranda family for being here. Thank you to Hispanic Federation. I want to end this in a high note, but obviously I forgive Lin-Manuel for giving Lafayette more time than he gave Galvez, the Spanish general, the help.
Thank you.
George Washington beat the British. Still, I never understood why America has such a love affair with the British when they try to impose on us and we try to kick them out. I think Spain, and France, we were better partners.
So listen,
still, I love the British people.
So after we finish the song about the jamón y huevo in your fridge, we'll get to work on the Spanish music.
Ladies and gentlemen, longer tables, Lin-Manuel Miranda. Thank you.